Today is November the 20th. Wilma and I have come to Kinnikinnick Creek Conservation Area. We're going to walk on the horse trails again. We like the horse trails. There's a couple places where you got to cross the creek Wilma particularly likes. So we're probably going to go on the horse trail in a counterclockwise direction. It's Tuesday the 20th. It's about 11:40, I think. Yep, 11:37, and it's nice out. It's about 53, I think. There's one horse trailer here, so there's probably at least one horse out on the trail that we'll see, unless we're going the other direction. So we're going to set off. Here's our first creek crossing. You can see there's not much water today. I don't know if you can see it on my stick or not, but I've drawn a ring around it in indelible ink. That is the top of my boots, so I'll know whether it's safe to walk across. Now in this case, Wilma walked across and her belly didn't get wet, so it's a pretty good bet I can get across. Interesting examples of shelf fungus, also known as bracket fungus. Horse there in a field next to the path. He snorted at me a couple times. I think he wants me to go away. Wow, almost taking a breather there. Out of the horse trail up to the other trailhead on the west side of the park. I haven't seen anything really interesting. Saw one guy riding a horse on the trail on the east side of the park. Saw some horses in a field alongside the park on the east. Saw some more horses along the west side of the park in a field. Some construction work going on outside the park, and two women walking a dog on this gravel road. I don't know, maybe a quarter of a mile, half a mile north of here. But that's about it. So we're going to go down to the creek. Looks like they've cut some fire breaks for burning later on. Doesn't look like it's burnable quite yet, but when we're getting a little rest in. See the old shed that's fallen down. Maybe we'll walk over there and take a look. Looks like there might have been a foundation at one time. Well, there's some kind of foundation in there. Looks like you could walk around it. Let's go take a look. There's the remains of, I don't know if that's a stone or concrete and stone or what. Looks like concrete on this side and stone on the inside. If I thought I'd get an answer, I'd send him an email and ask, but you just really don't get much in the way of email responses from these guys. Well, she found the creek. She is thirsty. But he wanted his own private entrance into the park, so he lifted the fence wire here. The side trail goes, but we're gonna go take a look. This is the main horse trail. We're just up the hill from the creek. Explains it. I think this used to be the trail until the trees fell over it, so they just moved the trail around where the trees were. Wilma really wants to move. Hard to tell what this is. Might be just another fire break. Might be a new trail they're blazing. Who knows? I think we went over that way once before. See this from the trail, but I couldn't quite figure out what it was. somebody's hunting blind, I think. Maybe somebody lives in it. Who knows? It's not hunting season in the park right now, so there's probably nobody in it. Oh, it has a tag on it that says BCCD 28. So it must be legit. Not very well camouflaged though. I'm pretty sure the turkeys and the deer will see it as easily as I did. Now here's someone's tree stand on just down. That camouflage ground stand is down there. Here's a tree stand. Looks like it has a tag on it too. Now we're gonna keep going. Now we've got as far along the edge of this band of trees as we can get. That tree stand down there said 22 on it. I don't know if that's significant or just the tax they paid to get in here. So we're going to see if we can get back to the horse trail. Or maybe not, who knows. That's a big walnut, I think. It's about the size of a tennis ball. There's another one over there. Big suckers. Looks like they've done some fairly recent burning here. So, just along the floor of this little wooded area. Just had some weeds in there I didn't like. Now, a sign of civilization. We're getting pretty close to going back to the horse camp or parking area. I forget where it is exactly. It's not very far from here. A few hundred yards maybe. Before we leave, we just drive around the other end of the park. Now, this is an area that apparently they've blocked off for the year. It says one way that way, and a sign on the gate says do not enter. The other gate's closed too, so if I remember correctly, it only goes back to the toilets for the that were there was a sign for on the horse trail. I don't think there's anything else back there. I think it used to be a campground at one time. Crossing over the creek, this is where, I don't know if you can quite see it. It's hard to see from here, but it's not too far up there. Where you see the ripples, it's not quite that far. That's where we crossed initially.